Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of OTV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program.
Ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Ẹ sì káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ọmọ Oòduà tó ń dé sójú ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ ìkànnì OTV níbi tá a ti ń dábẹ́ ọdún tá a ti ń rọ̀ bí òwe. Bó jẹ́ pé ọba náà ló kú fórè fàkùkọ tiwa o. Ẹ kú bójú ọjọ́ ti rí báwọn lọ́dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn. Ajé ti gbogbo ajẹ́ sọ́jà yín ti ta wàràwàrà torí pé tó dá mi lójú náà ni pé ọmọ ẹ̀ta ní kọ́kọ́ ta o kí gbogbo ọmọ ẹranko tó tà pátá. Àdúrà mi ni pé ajé àfilẹ̀ gbogbo wa sílé ògúngún sọ̀rọ̀ bòjá fọ̀dẹ̀dẹ́gbọ́ ṣe gbogbo àwa òkùnkùn ní báláyé fọwọ́ táyé gẹ́gẹ́ tó ètò ọ̀hún náà ló tún balẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ wàrà òjò sójú rẹ̀ yìí àwa wùn mí kẹ́ bá wa pèrè fìdí àbẹ́ máa fìdí tí a pèrè mọ́lẹ̀ kákọ́ lágbàmì ètò tòní ká máa bá kíní ọ̀bọ̀ bàdí ṣe máa ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe tiwa tẹ́tí mọ̀ wá mọ̀ lánàá kó tó dùn ní. Àdìgún lódodo ràwọ̀ yín náà rèé lórí ètò tòní bó bá ti wáyé gun ó máa ń yọrẹ ni bó bá ti yá yẹn tẹ̀lé mi ẹ̀já lọ lórí ètò tòní kájọ mọ bí kíní ọ̀hún kájọ mọ bó ti fẹ́ rí. Ẹ máa bá mi láìkì o ẹ dẹ̀ máa share kẹ́ ẹ máa bá mi subscribe ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n gbọ́ wa láké kí wọ́n gbọ́ wa lóko káwọn tó wá rògbò àga náà má bọ́ kí wọ́n bomi ọgbọ́n mu ń bẹ̀ torí pé ètò ọgbọ́n rèé níbẹ̀ náà láti jọ ń fúnra wa lómi ọgbọ́n mu ó ti yá ẹja tẹ̀síwájú lórí ètò tòní.
Bloggers actually told me they're tired of covering the case because it's very, tiring. In September, you remember NTA told me to do a report, and I did the report, and it was on NTA's Clegg Light about Mohbad's case when he just died. Little did we know that this stuff is going to stretch into 2-3 months and get more complicated. Can't even do an update with NTA anymore. A lot of it is very libelous now. If you say something wrong, we'll end up suing the nation's broadcasters. So I can't even do anything for any contributor TV station. Now, I've followed this case from day one. I've told you that there's a DNA that was done and everybody was flown to the UAE. And I've told you everything you need to know. But you see, the way your brain works, things enter your ear and they just escape the other ear. When Kemi Olunloyo says something, write it down on the date. And then later you'll come, oh, Kemi was right. Oh, she told us. One, don't compare me to very dark black man. I don't know what he is, okay, but if I have to describe him like Daniel Rager, I will call him a critic. Okay, anybody can be a critic. You can take your phone and start criticizing anything you don't like in this world. All right? So I know he's not an investigator, a private investigator like Mr. Awosanya, Sega Link, who started NSARS. That's a certified private investigator over there. I am an investigative journalist, and the police are investigators. Homicide, whatever, police investigators are investigators, and that's what Bansi is for. The CID in Bansi is very famous for that, in Yaba. There's another CID that's famous for investigations, and that's Alagmo CID in Ikoyi. So, know the difference. So please don't compare me to very dark black man. I don't know him. I've never spoken to him. We don't talk. He does his own thing and all that. All right. So while we're on this video, oh, by the way, 21st of tomorrow is my son's birthday. So I always remember the day before when Veronica went into labor. Veronica Adeleke. So today's Davido's birthday. Happy birthday there, Davido. 31 years. So, tomorrow, my son's birthday, 1 year older. Anyway, let's get to the point. What you have going on right now is between Mohbad's family and Wumi's family, okay? Number one, Wumi has not spoken. She's quiet in the media, but her sister's doing all the talking for her, all right? Her sister's been calling me in the States, okay, in the U.S., and then she started all her calls after Mohbad died. She'll call in the middle of the night. Imagine, in the middle of the night, Nigerian time. You can't sleep. And you're calling people at 7 o'clock in the evening, eating dinner in America. When I first left, I took my son, to Atlanta and Dallas, and we had to do a lot of that. I was in like 4 or 5 different states. But let me tell you what I did. I have 2 phone lines. They posted them online. Tonto Dike Adame, the dead one, and what's the name of that third person? Adeton. When they posted my phone number online, Just Lover helped them spread it all over the place. Yabojo, that is. Yabojo put 6 emojis laughing on Ada Ahmed's post. So now that we know that she's definitely the Just Lover, you can see how people betray you and then let you down. People you trust. People like Adetong flashing my number and my home address, telling people to come and beat me up. So now you know why I hate Tacha Ikide. Chacha Akide, she can never do well. All that one that she's doing on Cool FM is just temporarily. That's why I went after Tacha. She tweeted that anyone going to beat the investigative journalist, please videotape it. She should not put her mouth there because I would troll her forever. Okay, the very smelly girl on Big Brother Nigeria, you know her, right, Tacha. She's on Cool FM now, trying to be an OAP by force and all. Like I said, everything's temporary. Just watch. So, whatever does not concern you, don't put your mouth into it. Don't inherit enemies. If you see somebody abusing Kemi Olunloyo, I'm nobody's mate. I'm going to be 60 years old. I celebrated my 60th birthday earlier this year. I usually celebrate my 0 birthdays 1 year before. But I'm actually 59. I will be 60. I'm not your mate. I'm old enough to give birth to you. So make sure you shut your fucking mouth up and do the right thing. Don't get involved in something you start and you can't end. So, when I first left Nigeria, okay, yeah, remember I told you guys I'm not Kem Patriot. She's the one that you confused me with, saying I supported Tinubu. I'm not Kem Patriot. She's a Tinubu girl. And she came up to me and asked me why I hate the name Kem because her late dad called her that and she's like her father's pet and all that, you know? So if you call me Kem, I don't even care anymore because there's somebody who loves that name. Just as somebody hates lemons, the other person loves lemonade. So if you like, be a fool and continue doing your shit. Now, fucking listen to me, okay? Because no one's going to tell you the truth. The way the media works in the mainstream is they tell you something. I had Fatima here 2 days ago. Fatima inside diaspora, who is she was the Sahara Reporters lady. Fatima lives in New York. She's from Sierra Leone, but she's a Nigerian kind of person with us. If you go to Sahara Reporters and they post something on Instagram, they post the same thing on their Facebook and they post the same thing on their Twitter. Okay, the person doing that was Fatima. She was the admin. Then she hosted a show live in 2020 during the pandemic. 6 p.m. on Sahara Reporters Instagram Live, and they'll bring a guest. So we started doing something where they'll bring me at the end of the 6 o'clock show, maybe around 7:30 or 8. The last 30 minutes, it's called Bogus News Items. I created the whole spot, and so at the end, she'll bring me and I'll say Bogus News Items, and I'll go through all the crazy news items in the week. It was a hit. I mean, we're locked down, everything. It was at that time, okay, that Hush Puppy was arrested. And I remember, you saw Fatima last time on my live, telling you guys that I broke that whole thing about Hush Puppy going to America. And EFCC sent a statement out to the mainstream media that he was coming to Nigeria. So what I want you to fucking listen to is how the media works. In the mainstream, you cannot report everything that's going on the social media platforms because it could be defamatory and it could be libelous. Okay, so all this one you will see with Mohbad's dad and Karimo and all that, you won't see that in Punch, you won't see that in Vanguard, you won't see all that. All the journalists over there are young enough to be my children. They're all in their early 30s and late 20s. So they're like kids to me. Okay, they call me mommy. They contact me for other scoops and all that. They know what they can report. They know what they can't report. But me, as an independent journalist, I can report any shit I want. Okay, and if you don't like it, don't follow it. That's my thing. If you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. You don't want to ever step on my bounds. Those of you that owe money to people on Instagram, you're scamming people, you need to go pay them. If you don't pay them, I will put you out again on the weekend. I will destroy your businesses. You will not be able to have an Instagram page anymore because you're stealing money, wigs, creams, everything, even car sellers. Okay, so make sure you pay people their money. Now, what is going on was that girl, Karimo or whatever, she'll be calling my number. Of course, they made my number public when they posted it. When I left Nigeria, I forwarded it to my US line. Now, when you forward a number, basically the fool that's calling didn't know that she was calling the US. All right, I've put the charge in there because if you call me my number now, you're paying that US charge from Nigeria to US. So at the end of the day, I don't use that number anymore anyway, but in the beginning, when I left in, February, I forwarded that number. So when the Mohbad case started in September, she was calling that number in the middle of the night, her time, screaming, yelling, blah, blah, blah. We recorded everything she said. It was just, cursing, like, God will punish you, blah, blah, blah. You want to mess up the life of a baby, or which baby? Mohbad doesn't own that baby, I beg. All right, on the day that they tell you Mohbad slept with her, this one slept with her, that one slept, everybody has slept with her, and you want that baby to look like Mohbad. It's not Mohbad's child, I beg. So at the end of the day, how can people be telling her to do DNA and she hasn't gone to do another one? What are the DNA that you went carry to Dubai? Did they not swab somebody's mouth? Did they not do tests? Okay, I won't say anything. I've said my own. At the end of the day, the whole point is, they now know that they have a roadblock, so they want to shut Kemi Olunloyo down. There's nothing can shut me down with. Iyabo was running Gist Lover and posting pictures or videos of very dark black man masturbating so that he can keep quiet and not talk. You can't keep us quiet. Iyabo tried me, okay, by saying my son disowned me. Did my son disown me? Really? He didn't? Okay, sit down there. My son and I are laughing at you. Nobody disowns me, nobody owns me. The fact remains that Iyabo was doing tactics to get people not to go to that section, not to follow the case and all that. No, we're not. We're going to expose all of you. Iyabo and Tonto are using their foundations to steal money, really. And I call it stealing because if they burn her, let her come and sue me. Come to a U.S. court and come and sue me. You think you're in Nigeria where everything is invitation. How many invitations did I get? 3 or 4? I left the country for all of you. I don't want no invitations. When Mama Jazz or whatever that bitch name is, the one in Abuja, Bimbo Martin's sister, IVD case, when they arrested Blessed CEO, they invited me. I didn't go. I was still in Nigeria self. I didn't go. I just told the cop I don't honor invitations. I'm a journalist. I was trained in the United States and I'm independent. There's no way any police will call me to come and explain what I'm investigating. Okay, that's not their job. So I'm not going to do it. I sent them to the U.S. Embassy. Okay. All right. So that's my other country, Abi. Okay. So go to the U.S. Embassy and tell them that if I'm going to come to your invitation, the embassy will come with camera and they will record the whole invitation. So if you're ready, let's know. They didn't bother. Someone told them to leave me. Or money case, same thing. I didn't show up for invitation. Someone told them to leave me. Because if you invite me and I come to somewhere and the U.S. Embassy's videotape and all that, we fuck you up. Don't mess with. My son is even there. It will be taping in the zone. So, we have rights, all right? Nnamdi Kanu has rights. He's a British citizen and he's been locked up forever. And he was given bail. His case was dismissed. They told them to pay, but they're not doing anything because of their hands, which is dirty. Okay, their hands are dirty. If I was sitting in my house in Nigeria now, when I was in Lagos, maybe the DSS would be at my door asking that they want to invite me or they want to drop invitation because I said their hands are dirty because they didn't release Nnamdi Kanu. If a court says something, you must honor the court's request. You must not open your fucking mouth and be doing rubbish. And Tinubu is really messing up because that next 4 years coming up, he may not even win that. Only because he's also doing the same impunity Buhari did. You don't move that stuff to the next government. If you notice what Kenya is doing, okay? Kenya gave the government to Ruto. Okay, Ruto took it from Kenyatta. Okay, so the case of vice presidents becoming presidents, all right? It's a little different because Ruto is running his own government. The Ghanaians, those ones have protests all the time. They're getting ready to do another protest. What the Ghanaians are doing basically is the Ghanaians are protesting their government now. They say they don't like Mahama. He's ex-president. He was once vice president. Now they elected Akufo-Addo. Now Akufo-Addo's Bawunia, vice president, is the one going to run for president next year. So Mahama is the one they chose on the other side. They have all these different young men candidates, but no, they had to bring their recycled president and their vice president to come and face each other. Now, is that recycling leader good? No, it's not. It's never good for Africa. But who is the top person in recycling leaders? The Americans are doing it all the time. There is no one U.S. president except one person that I know. Every U.S. president, almost, please, I don't want to go into the 1930s. Calvin Coolidge was the one I remember, all to 1930. Mr. Coolidge, President Coolidge.
I'm Kemi
was the president of America in 1930. Yeah, that's Calvin Coolidge. Sorry, not 1930, I'm sorry. President Calvin Coolidge was the 30th president of the United States. I can only know them all the way to the 30th president. If I have to learn, I'll learn. But at the end of the day, almost everybody after Coolidge, okay, was a vice president. Only two people that I know that were never vice president, Obama. Obama went from Senate to White House. Everybody goes vice president to White House. Obama went to Senate to White House. And Trump went from boardroom to Oval Room, okay? Businessman to president. So the Americans do that stuff all the time. Back to Mohbad. On the story of Mohbad, what I want to tell you right now is that you have seen the whole thing. That very black, dark man too. You know, every now and then I'll watch this video, but it's not something I go to do. But if you notice the DNA test that they said, that it's done, Mohbad is the father, fuck Kemi Olunloyo, people abusing me left, right, and center. Did they not play with all the Twitter influencers to promote that? Yabo paid them from the Mohbad money. Yabo Wumi paid them. Mba, everybody, OGB, everybody made it viral. I came back because I said I'm going on medical leave. I won't be back till December. They didn't know it was a trick. So the next day I came back and I released a statement. I said there's no DNA done. The only one done is in the UAE, period, you know. You Olori Bruku to Basun in the Malian house. We're going on my out there at the end. Go and read my broadcast. Now, of course, you know, for the sympathy part of it, Yabo and what's the name of that? Tonto, they wanted to do humanitarian with their fake foundation. So what they did was they basically put together a whole, we would pay for the funeral, give him a proper funeral. They went to Ebony to, you know, Ebony was letting them. Okay, I would never, God forbid, Ebony funeral homes, you will never get my business. Like, hopefully I will never bury a child or bury anybody. If I'm burying anybody in that Nigeria now, even my parents, I'm not even coming near Nigeria. But at the end of the day, you will never get my business for anything. And God forbid, I wouldn't have anybody that's going to die that I'll have to bury. But for Ebony to allow them to be videotaping that casket as they're buying it, it was not a influencer content. Yabo made it that, and Tonto, so that they can look like humanitarians for this poor guy that's, you know, went through this and that. That's when I came in and I said, Yabo, you shouldn't do that. You wouldn't like somebody doing that for your children. Yabo got mad because I said your children. Yeah, your children, Yabo. I said, okay, I apologize to you for using your children. I'm not apologizing for you. I withdrew it right away. Okay, if it was your children, would you like that? What's to say none of us, any of us can lose our children anytime. Okay, our children don't belong to us, they belong to God. Anything can happen at any time. Look what happened to 2 p.m. I heard in Ghana. On Friday, 2 p.m. was killed in a car crash. One of the most promising rappers. You know, when I was over there, I met him. And I said, oh, I want to see you at Sarkozy's concert in December. Maybe I'll come and all that. But at the end of the day, Friday, 2 p.m. was killed in a car crash. He didn't even make news in the beginning until the evening he started field training. Young man, 22, 23. Anybody can die at any time. But when it comes to burying your children, okay, don't disrespect somebody else's child who is being buried, who you want to bury. Make it private. Okay, they're saying they're doing it for transparency. Nobody needs your fucking transparency. All right? It's bad enough they have to exhume him. Now listen carefully to this part. If you're a blogger and you want to videotape this part, this is when you need to screen record. All right? This part right here. I do that on Facebook again, but I've closed Facebook as well. Facebook, TikTok. I don't give notices on anything, and I don't say bye-bye. I've been telling you months that I'm retiring. So what is happening basically is when Mohbad died, his father said he went to the house, he got there late, blah, blah, blah. Karimo, or whatever your name is, you're a fucking liar. Don't, you and all the Olusho fools that all of you are making videos for Instablog, don't come and tell the world. You hear me? Don't fucking tell the world. Why did they hurry and bury Mohbad? Mohbad was a dead body, Okay, nobody likes the smell of a dead body. I've smelled it before, so I know how bad it is. All right, what happened when they took Mohbad to the mortuary in Ikorodu? They wouldn't take his body because they needed a police report. Why didn't that DPO give them a police report for a dead body that was just declared dead by Perez Hospital? Why? Guess what? Wumi's mother had influence over there. I told you this stuff, but you didn't want to believe because you want to believe what you want to hear. And I'm not going to give you what you want to hear. I'm going to give you what you need to hear. And it's called the truth. You understand me, all of you? Okay. Now, Wumi's mother is a retired police officer. She used her influence there. Okay? Wumi's mother, Toba Bie Dada, answer me, pada. Don't share video ko answer me. Show lo ba DPO, abo ni influence pẹ̀lú DPO. Tí ó fún wọn ní police report, dead body. Show ni influence, only come out from police report. So because only come out from police report, one lo rush bury Mohbad. Ta ló fẹ́ keep dead body in the house. Wọ́n ra casket, wọ́n gbé sínú casket, wọ́n embalm, wọ́n fẹ́ gbé lọ sínú grave. Chairman state bí wọ́n lè bury ẹ̀. Chairman sọ pé wọ́n lè bury ẹ̀ lóru. Ẹ̀yin wá gbẹ́nu sókè ẹ̀yin ará lè Wùmí ẹ wá ń sọ̀sọ̀kúsọ ẹ pé kí ló dé tí bàbá Mohbad ṣe lọ rush bury. Nǹkan tó ṣe lọ rush bury ẹ̀ nìyẹn now because ìyálà ya Wùmí ó jẹ́ kán fún wọn police report. Let me tell you why Wumi's mother didn't want them to give him the police report. Wumi's mother didn't want them to give the police report. That way they'll go and bury Mohbad and there won't be an autopsy. They had used Mohbad for experiments. Medications, drugs, everything. Injections and all that. So that was the reason why they did not wait. That's the reason why they rushed the burial. The man had no choice. He had to rush and bury his kid. Because Mohbad's mother-in-law, Wumi's mother, blocked that part. Wumi's mother, if I'm lying, Logba lawyer Kusu, serve me, America anymore. Okay? Serve me anywhere. Just here. Go and serve me. If you like, tell them to do anyway. But at the end of the day, my own thing is, you know what's going on. You are the one that stopped them from giving them the police reports. That will let the mortuary take Mohbad's body for at least a few days while they can plan his funeral properly. Instead, they went to put the boy in a white casket. I don't know about the neck, whether it was turned, whether it was broken. That boy was inside and they rushed that thing the next morning. And Wumi was there throwing the white cloth and all that. You can run, you can't hide. So please don't let all these people doing videos for Instablog tell you nonsense. They're the ones. They know the story. Okay, if you have influence, you have influence. Why would the inquest judge say what she said? Why would she say what she said? Okay. Why would the criminal judge that was giving bail say what they said? What did the judge say? Don't call me. Nobody must call me. If you call me, I will record your voice and I will play it for the world to hear. There are high people in high places involved in Wumi's case. There are people in high places, businessmen, politicians, don't protect Wumi and don't want her to be taken. Wumi, Okpa with a conspiracy mode. So see here, conspiracy mode no fit pa you use the best opportunity. You're not going to conspiracy in America. So see here, what take best opportunity let's take pa you. And I will always use Paul Well's case like yours. Okay, Paul Well's baby mama picked up the other baby mama and the baby 10 months and handed them over to the assassins. Oh Lord, be one ile one. I want you born moto. Oh they drop one. Àwọn assassins they be one they lock pa one nínú igbó. But on shoot one ton, ọmọ 10 months old. On shoot at year. On had a petrol si wọn lára, wọ́n fẹ́ burn wọn. Òjò wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rọ̀ wọ́n sá. Òjò rọ̀, they did not get burned because òjò pa gbogbo iná ton set si wọn lára. That's how they found the bodies. All this happened in September. The same September 8th, the same September that they killed Mohbad. It happened in Jamaica. Where are we in November? Wọ́n ti sentence àwọn tó pa àwọn assassins. Ta ló rán àwọn assassins àwọn yẹn ti sọ̀rọ̀ on court now. Other baby mama. Okay, Paul Well's other baby mama, the American Navy woman, will be 14-year-old. So, 63-year-old Jamaican politician who fair, who are baby mama. Who ìyẹn bímọ 10 months tó wá decide láti pa òun àtọmọ ẹ̀. So ìwọ ló plan gbogbo ẹ̀. So they've sentenced one person to 7 years, one person to 30 years. I don't know what she's gonna get. Conspiracy no way. You take best opportunity. You know, right now the GPP, the only people they have is Prime Boy. The one that Prime Boy was doing interview, interview with TVC. I went back and watched Prime Boy's interview. As a journalist, especially an investigative one, I've solved 13 murders in Canada alone. I went back and I looked at my training almost 29 years ago, and I said to myself, let me watch this boy's video again. After watching Prime Boy's little short clips, maybe TVC did that one for ratings. Ratings in TVC shameful, so that they can be popular and all that. Everybody wants content, okay? All right. The only thing is that that stuff's going to stay on the internet forever while it's on TVC's whatever. Okay? The internet never forgets. When I went back to look at Prime Boy's video over and over again, he implicated me. So now I want to say, the reason why we arrested Prime Boy is because we had sent him several invitations he didn't hear. So we now put a bounty on his head. Now he came in after the 1 million naira bounty. And that events leading to Mohbad's death, they are going to investigate it, which is good. And events leading to Mohbad's death means Prime Boy with a punch car, at glass, at body, bubble, was really. But Mohbad was really. You will on film away. On film away on the internet, are you mad? And then all these WhatsApp messages, Mohbad is a spiritual person. You know, light bulb, lights, nothing, no associates with. Even though Mohbad messed up in lifetime with me, that picture he won't take with me. My 500,000 he blocked from Naira Mali. He joke when say me she share from Naira. Hey, Mohbad she say me. That kind of stuff. There are many people in the industry who don't want to work with me, or even my son. That kind of stuff. Shebi Mohbad is often Rexy come up on me she share. But Rexy to book appointment for me 2 times. Go try Afrobeat. If Afrobeat you don't just in the practice spell. All of them backed out. It was Mohbad that told the old industry. Emma she go up and NDL number she share. If something goes on now and the son comes to the studio, sees weed. They believe that when my son comes to the studio, sees weed on the table there, is the one that will tell me, and then I will call the NGL and then they will read them. It's logical. They have a reason to be logical, but that's not what I plan to do. At the end of the day, it's the same Mohbad that I'm reporting about. Excuse me, I'm not fighting for Mohbad. I'm not part of justice for Mohbad. I am investigating what killed him. Okay, don't insert me in the story. Journalists are never inserted into stories. We investigate stories. Okay, the minute you insert a journalist, because a lot of you are illiterate, you're fucking illiterates. Okay, you see about that's why I should be the one that should be saying that. Many of you don't dare use your real accounts to be talking to me on Instagram. You use fake accounts to talk to me, to abuse me on Instagram. Okay, so let me tell you right now. All right, I ain't going to report what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the facts on there. To all the bloggers recording and everything. Mohbad's dad said if he touched his son's body, anyway, nobody can, he's already authorized no one to pick up his son's body. His son's body will remain in the mortuary until he gets justice. Number 2, when they were trying to bury Mohbad hurriedly and the DPO didn't give them the police report so they can get to the mortuary, where were you, Yabo and Tonto? Sheikh Bayekole Ekema advocates to get a mortuary for Mohbad, Edake Sorrow. And you of all people, Yabo, your own boyfriend, Okoye, he knew everything about Mohbad's demise. He knew everything about how they persecuted Mohbad. So Karimo is saying something about, I want to share meeting 2 days before. Did they not have a meeting? Shut the fuck up. Oriye Okpe Karimo, Oriye Okpe Lorun, Oriye Baje, stupid. Okay, Iyabo tó sọ pé Lizzy ò lè porúkọ. Ṣé wọ́n bí wọ láti porúkọ Davido? Òun sọ pé nìkan fún bàbá yẹn ní 2 million. Tí Davido bá fún bàbá Mohbad 2 million, nítorí ọmọ ẹ̀ kú. Ṣé ìtúgbò Davido ṣe ò ṣe enough? Kí ni wọ́n fún bàbá Mohbad? You know, tó bá bí ẹ dárúkọ Davido kò drag Davido. Davido gave Mr. Loba 2 million. I remember it was announced and everything. Davido didn't announce it. You know, Davido gives people money for clouds or whatnot, but When Davido gave the man the money, the man announced it, and the man actually announced it and beefed it, saying that I only received 1 million. The delivery of the money was not the whole 2 million, because the man was trying to call out the person that took the other half. Now, there was a rumor saying that Cubana chief priest also gave the man 4 million before Mohbad's death. That cannot be verified. It can't be ascertained. I heard that rumor too. It can't be ascertained. But if Cubana did give the man 4 million, do you know whether it was for treatments of the injury? Okay, Cubana chief priest. Okay, didn't the chief priest host the show or sponsor the show? Were they not trying to give Mohbad an opportunity to start over after leaving Malian Records? Maybe that's what they did. And now Karimot wants to drag them into his and one country meeting. So what's the meeting about? They did a meeting 2 days before the Ikorodu show. They did. Stop it and go fucking shit yourself. Okay, Karimot, go and sit down. Nobody wants to hear your nonsense. Okay? Nobody wants to hear your nonsense. Don't divert away from where the case should be. There's a reason why my Instagram is still open. Not just because I have subscribers. Okay? But because I have to update people. I don't do anything on this page. If I'm not calling out a scammer, what am I doing? I'm doing a live video for you. So that you can know the facts in the case. So if I were you, Karima could bend where that cake was to fake buff from you. But recording don't shake with them. My play with you budget on here. Honestly, but only much what my round boys were bare. Won't teach any lesson. Nobody be a try to call me. Mundro the calling. At the end of the day, the fact remains that Mohbad was a victim of circumstances. He used drugs, used alcohol, used a lot of stuff, and then they entered pharmaceutical prescription drugs into him instead of taking him to the hospital. There is no reason why you call yourself a wife and you can't go to the hospital. When Mohbad was beaten up, after he was beaten up, his blood pressure went up. He went to the hospital on 5th of October 2022. I was the one that did 3 videos on TikTok, and I was the one that tweeted him in that hospital. At the end of the day, if he can go into the hospital himself after being beaten up, what is different about going to the hospital after a hand injury? Nobody's coming after him. You wanted him to die slow death, and that's what you did. You contradicted yourself while you will understand. My intern is inside that inquest all the time. Okay, because as stupid as Falana could get, Falana banned journalists from inside. I have an intern in there. The public is inside, and my intern is mixed with you there in the public. At the end of the day, what did you say? You want Shindomi from Rojeto. Okay, was the food supposed to go with the medicine? And going on it self-triaxone. System. Taking self-triaxone on an empty stomach alone will make you vomit. But he was convulsing because he had an anaphylactic reaction to it. Okay, so Mohbad vomited. He started vomiting heavily and he ran to the toilet. If it was a mistake, he ran to the toilet. Somebody attached an IV line, ran to the toilet. So you now take the IV, everything, you now run to the toilet with it. You messed up there. Mohbad didn't run to the toilet. He vomited all over the place. So that's a lie. When you lie once, to me, if you lie once, yeah, finished. You lied all the time. Now let me get some questions here. I'm going to turn back comments and all that. You speak so well, ma'am. Sonic Zamani, thank you. Okay, if you want to ask me questions, put it in the question tool. All right, and I will answer all your questions. One person wants to go live. I don't have time for that. Chioma Eze, sorry. Questions on the question tool. I'll answer your question. The basic bottom line now is they're looking for a way to divert this case away from where they are. Yabo has many battles she has to fight. She should leave Mohbad alone. Yeah, and finally, so a recap of what I broadcasted, okay, in the broadcast channel was basically Yabo's Yaba and Sunsu were literally ignored by the state. So on orders of Mr. Joseph Aloba, Mohbad's father doesn't want them to have anything to do with his son's case. He said his son must get justice and to go to probate courts to take all Mohbad's assets, all the money. That boy is rich now. I can't even believe it. Audio Mac has almost hit $250,000. $250,000. You know what $250,000 means? $250,000. That's 25 billion or something. Well, I can't even count the zeros. That kind of stuff. 25 million, 25 billion. How much is 250,000? Is that not 2.5 billion? Okay. So at the end of the day, he doesn't want anything to disturb him. When he goes to probate courts, probate is the courts. For you, those of you who don't know English, probate is a court where a judge decides who gets somebody's money. Okay. Me, I have no assets anywhere right now. When I left Nigeria, I sold everything that's sold. When I say sold, things that have no value. Refrigerator, microwave, everything is sold. I have no assets. I have 3 suitcases with my clothes. That's all I have to my name. All right. And I rent an apartment, and that's the end of it. While I was in Africa doing work, I was in Airbnbs and different places. But at the end of the day, I don't want to have any assets. I don't care. Because in 2021, 23, 100 years from today, nobody's going to be here. So all these things you're fighting for, bitching for, it does not matter. So you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, okay, that's why you see a lot of abandoned mansions and all that. I've been looking at one channel on Facebook and even Instagram. Abandoned houses, abandoned mansions, big castles, big. These are the houses of all the people that died in 1929 or the year of the 1912. Rich people that went on the Titanic with their children, they all died in the Titanic. So the houses they all left together. Go to New York, go to some areas in Vermont, all those areas in America with abandoned mansions. Those are the owners there. So houses like that eventually become the government's own if nobody goes out there and claims it, for probate. If you have a man in 1912 with 3 children, there were children on the Titanic, 3 small children, 11, 12, 9, and the wife, and they all entered that Titanic. Imagine, those children have no children. There are no descendants. So the house they left is still there, 100-year-old castle till today. Go to our house in Molite in Ibadan. That house was built by my grandpa. The house is 70 years old now. It's almost crumbling. The foundation is funny. We all lived in that Molite house, 70-something years. 1948, he built it. He had a heart attack and died. 42 years. We never lived in it. That house is where we have all lived. It was Sheyi Makinde that went there 2 years ago, 2021, and renovated the whole house. You guys saw it in the papers. Sheyi renovated the Molite house of Olunloyo governor, gave my daddy SUV, Lexus, everything. So everything came back and all that. But it's not like that all around the world. People die, and if there's no descendants, the government owns everything. In Mohbad's case, the government is not going to own his music assets. His music assets is so much now. This is just on his modernization side, though. The last EP he did. On the Naira Marley side, there's still tons of money over there. That very first album, Lights. So at the end of the day, when they're going to claim that money, usually in probate courts, the people that usually get money in probate court are usually the parents of the dead person and the children of the dead person. But if there's no children, then everything goes to the parents. Look at Matthew Perry. Did he not die recently? He didn't leave a will either. He was 50-something years old. He didn't leave. It means do I have a will? Because there's nothing in my will. The only thing I have is bank accounts. So I don't have a will. And my bank account, my children know the passwords. Anytime they want to withdraw, they just enter the password, withdraw the money, all that stuff. I don't know how you guys operate in your house. I have my children's bank passwords and they have mine, So it's not like they're going to wake up and empty my bank account tomorrow, but I know what I'm doing, believe me. But you have to prepare for your family. So what's going to happen is Mr. Loba is trying to get all the assets for his son. And he's not going to do it until the DNA of that child is checked. I've done my own parts. We'll do Yaba and Lizzie in a minute. All right, what's the topic? Please know the topic before. Listen to the video before using the question. So I hate stupid people. When is the autopsy report coming out? It's not coming out, okay? I've already said on my last video. The autopsy is done, the toxicology is done. It's not going to be made public. Mohbad's dad doesn't want it public anymore. She doesn't want Yabo and Tonto and all the records of social media. So it's going to remain private. Autopsy does not have to be public. They're not doing it because of you, okay? They are not doing it because of you. They're doing it because they want to make sure they know what killed him. There are many people who died without an autopsy. Davido's assistant, Obama DMW, I have a photograph of him dead on the operation table on the morning that he went to eat with Davido and Peruzzi when Davido was traveling to America. They went to eat at 10 a.m. at a restaurant, and Davido's flight was around noon, and it was his father's jet. And they only ate rice and stew at the place, and he started feeling sick, I don't know, gasping, whatever. And he drove himself to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, someone snapped him inside the hospital and they sent the picture to me. And he died minutes later. The heart-lung machine, they've packed it up, they unplugged it, his dead body shot. And I didn't post it because Tiwa Savage didn't want me to post it. She pleaded to me that it'll affect his son. Little did I know that Tiwa was even dating the guy. And that's the real reason why she didn't want me to post it. I saw the pictures of today. Obama was buried the very same day. Imagine you went to eat breakfast with Davido at 10 a.m., 4 o'clock, you're inside the ground. By the time Davido landed in Atlanta, Davido was like, oh my God, Obama, rest in peace, just like that. And then the rumors started surfacing like, did Davido or Peruzzi poison him? Which is not the case, because I saw everything with Obama. Obama's system, his body was messed up. He had what they will call a cardiac event. His entire heart walls. You know how Whitney Houston's heart walls looked? Whitney's cardiac walls was so damaged from drugs. Obama had smoked weed, shisha, alcohol, bitters, everything. So that's what happened to him. No one poisoned him. And at the end of the day, he's Muslim, so he had to be buried immediately. Did he have an autopsy? No. If they not took Obama out of the ground and said, let's do autopsy, you know what I'm saying? Autopsy can be done anytime now. What's his name? Derek Wade in America. The boy that was hit by a police car, and the police quickly went to bury him without calling his parents. In that America. So at the end of the day, Obama didn't have an autopsy. Bodyguard didn't come. Davido's bodyguard, Taju, TJ. Did he have autopsy? No. Some people that die and buried, If we start having autopsy for everybody, well, I will come. But at the end of the day, yeah, the autopsy and the toxicology reports are out. Some journalists have seen it. I know what's in there, and I told you in the last video. He was a victim of circumstances, okay? He used drugs. There was drugs in there. There was all kinds of stuff in there, and they drugged him up. When I say they drugged him up, I'm not using the term drug him up as in they gave him drugs like tramadol, like Valium. The term drug him up could mean you are giving somebody a drug so they can sleep. So that they can sleep. Then the term I'm using, drug him up, is the term where you virtually give them medications, trial and error. Imagine them injecting you with this antibiotic, that antibiotic, this one, that one. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So. And when you see a victim of circumstance, what do? If a cockroach is on the floor of your house, all right, and you see the cockroach coming to that spot every day, what do? Maybe you put something there for the cockroach. There are many things you can do. You can take fleet, insecticide, fleet the floor. Okay, when you fleet the floor and the little liquid of fleet is sitting there, that can kill the cockroach. That's like you take the opportunity to kill the cockroach. Now, some people say cucumber. Okay, if you slice cucumber and put it on the corner, you will see cockroach dead in the morning in that place. They don't like cucumber. But I always tell people the best way to kill cockroaches is onions and toothpaste. You know what I mean? You should be able to do that now. Look at me doing something else on my life. You take one onion, put in your blender, blend it. Take toothpaste, enter it into that mix. Mix it well, put it in little chunks in your kitchen. In the morning, 50, if as dirty as your house may be, you might see 50 cockroaches near that toothpaste. The smell of the toothpaste and the onion kills them. So it's like you have to use an opportunity to kill somebody at a certain time. If a cockroach doesn't come out, you don't know the cockroach is there, right? If you have your onion toothpaste mixed in a glass jar and you cover it, all right, and you are talking, you are doing live video like Kemi Olunloyo and one cockroach comes out of the kitchen cabinet. So you get up, you go and get your glass onion toothpaste mix. Take a spoonful and put it there. That's an opportunity to kill that cockroach. I hope I explained it properly. I'm going to open comments if you have a question. Continue. Let me just hear. I've turned on comments. Let me hear what you want to say. Okay, I don't want any rubbish stuff. I'm removing people of the video. And let me tell you about Lizzie and Yabo. Their own is Yoruba. Now, Lizzie and Yabo, they have been at each other's throat forever. And what I said in September, not September, August ending, was like, I'm praying for both of you. You need to stop. And you said, go Yoruba. I'll do it in Yoruba because non-Yoruba speakers don't really care. Okay. And you said, who is this one? You are a stupid awful. I beg, let me remove your ass. Don't come to my video if I'm a stupid awful. And you said, go Yoruba. Okay, Arise TV needs to employ you. They wanted to, somebody in there didn't want them to hire me. Ijeoma, the MD. Ijeoma, God will punish you. She was the one that put my name as blogger on the Hush Puppy interview. She said they shouldn't put me as journalist. I called her out now. Okay, but nobody thought I would call her out, you know? Nonsense. But back then I wanted to employ me. Wanted to put me as a political correspondent, give me my own show self, you know? But they are all what's it called? They're all intimidated. Maybe I'm not there anymore. They will miss me. When they see me on, let me see, Fox News, you know? I'm going to retire, but I might come back to Fox News as a correspondent, not correspondent, as maybe one of those people that come on the Sunday shows and analyze things. The only thing about it is I don't want to do politics anywhere. I don't cover politics. It's not Fox News put me on the round table now, be interviewed. It has to be a politician also, Israel and whatever. I've been in this business since 1994. It's 30 years. Thank you so much. Who was the one that said that? Ade Rula. Okay, let me speak Yoruba a little bit. Hey, you people, the situation with the Yabo and Lizzie has been going for a long time. End of August, I posted their pictures and I said I prayed for both of them. Yabo has always been a nuisance. Okay, she begged me she actually apologized for me going to prison because of the mistakes she made and the enemies she made and what made her PA, what made Tony write that notes and give it to her PA and they gave it to me. So she actually acknowledged the fact that she was part of the reason I went to prison and the Suleiman angle of it. Okay, I don't want to tell you too much because I'm going to write it in my book. I'm not in Nigeria anymore. They won't know what happened. But at the end of the day, she was trying to get Suleiman to give me something by sending another actress to me. He said I should go and rent a house. They'll pay for the rent. They'll get me a car, everything. I declined. I didn't want anything from any of them. If I wanted a house, a car, anything, even my business, HN Africa, that went down and everything, if I wanted everything back, I would just call Ibiyomi to give me. I never asked Ibiyomi for a penny. He never offered me anything. But if I needed something, I would go to him, not you. So at the end of the day, Yabo and Lizzie, what's going on with them? Lizzie will come on the video and say something about secretary, da da da. Let me tell you what secretary means. Secretary, I've written it I think I wrote it in the broadcast. Sepeteri is a town in Oyo State, near Shaki, northern Oyo State. We have an actual town. I don't want to call it a village. It's a small town kind of thing. In the Igbo land, when they have a small town, they always say village. Don't call it village. It's different. Sepeteri has street signs, everything. Sepeteri is near Shaki in northern Oyo State. It is known for snakes. It's like Australia is known for snake. Everywhere in Sepeteri is snake. You can't walk on the street, snake will come. Even snake will come and grease your leg. You know, so a lot of people in Sepeteri have snake bites. So one man now discovered that let's take the venom of these snakes. You know the venom of the snake. Sometimes you can use it to make like a vaccine kind of thing that will, you know, cure the people. So they have been doing a lot of research on Sepeteri. The Igbos have gotten there and everything. Now, how the name came about, you know, my father was governor of Oyo State at one time, and the people in Okeogun and Shaki are the big voters. If the Shaki people and the Okeogun people vote for you, you are going to become governor. They have to like you in that side. So a lot of things that my dad told me about Secretary is that the name came about in the colonial days when the British were still here. Sepeteri, if you look at the word, it means serpent. Serpents. And you know the word for serpent, the word for snake is also serpent. Serpeteri. So they named it. So when the British was there, pre-Independence Day, colonial days, so they named it Sepeteri Shaki. So the British named it that. Till today, you know you have to go into the bush or into the farm. On the road, snake will be passing. You too will be passing near snake. And snake will sometimes come to your leg. If you sit down, if I see I'm sitting on a chair here, you say I'm sitting outside. in my compound. Snake will come to my leg to come and greet me. Imagine. So when you see Lizzie saying sepeteri, she's actually saying Yabo is a snake. That's why Yabo, and then she said, go and put your black bonnet on and everything. So she's shading her. Lizzie is not scared of Yabo. Okay, I've studied their beef. She's not scared of Yabo. Yabo can be very dangerous. Now, Lizzie also says, Yabo too says Lizzie can be very dangerous. But Yabo, and in all this stuff that's happened, Lizzie is the one that knew. It was Lizzie. Lizzie told me some of this stuff about how I went to prison and everything. You know, some people just couldn't talk. At the time, Lizzie didn't talk. I faulted her for not talking, but I didn't know her and I didn't talk to her at that time. But there are people in Nollywood who knows what took me to prison with the BOM, who knows what led to the beef. They just used me. Okay, so don't get that part wrong, because some people say somebody used me. No. They only used me as a journalist. Is that not what the person said? They gave the 8-page letter to Yabo's PA and they said, please give it to that journalist that calls men of God out. So they gave it to me. I'm trying to investigate it. I posted the first page, but nobody knew there were 8 pages. And that's when they arrested me. The BOB's lawyer called me and told me to take it down. I said, I can't take it down. I'm an investigative journalist. I put allegedly there. I have to investigate. Before you know it, the police doesn't know the meaning of allegedly. They just arrested me. You saw how they came to my house. They stormed my house in the morning and everything. So at the end of the day, okay, throughout the whole case, the police was trying to get me to confess that I wrote it. I didn't write it. It was sent to me via Instagram. They said I was the one that owned the Attorney General that died in his sleep in London. He said I was the one that owned the fake account and sent it to myself. Instagram said no, it came from another number. Okay, then they sent it up to Truecaller. Truecaller said it came from this number and it's a Nigerian number. The number came out with Yabo Joe Pinky's group. I'm like, Yabo, okay, how can Yabo set me up? I don't know these people now. It turned out that Yabo's PA was the one that carries that phone. You see how all of them messed me up. Okay, so that's why if you come into my DM, as I've opened my DM now, okay, my DM was closed for like 3 months. I didn't want to read rubbish from anybody. But I don't have the time anymore. I'm not in Nigeria, so if I see your DM, I might delete it off. Don't send me rubbish stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, what basically happened was that Yabo, you know, knew all this stuff and she kept quiet. She didn't show up to court one time. Everything started getting like really crazy. And then when they now exposed her own numbers, the one that sent the news tip, that was when the judges dismissed the case. Justice Fubara Magistrate, they dismissed the case. Federal judge dismissed the case. And they didn't want people to know because it looks like as if Ibiomi was disgraced. So at the end of the day, Kennedy Oguko paid all these journalists not to report it. The Punch that was reporting actively, they didn't report again. The Nation reporter was the one that told me. That one died. He was sick. It was the one that told me that they paid all of them not to report it. So you guys just thought everything ended. To make it worse, I went to tell Ibiomi that I want to do a testimony in his church. There was a reason why I went to that place. I went to Ibiomi's church to lay a curse. If you notice, you can go and Google the video. It's online. I was standing at the altar, ground zero of Ibiomi's church, and I laid a curse. Whoever sent me that news tip, God will punish you mercilessly. That was the curse I went to lay there. That's the only reason why I went to do that curse. And the person that sent the news tip, Toyin, who gave it to the PA and all that, God is punishing all of them now mercilessly. I always hear which Toyin. You'll know which Toyin when I write the book. They're all friends now, but the way God will punish all of you. So at the end of the day, that's the situation with Lizzie and Yabo. Lizzie is not scared of you, okay? So my front, if you mention my name because you have a deformation, it's not deformation, it's defamation. D-E-F-A, not deform. Deform is for them to mess up somebody's hands or muscle or something, okay? You can't sue anybody for defamation, okay? You're just making noise. She will call your name. I'm calling your name now. Ashewo nie, Olosho nie. Okay, Olosho Ashewo were nie. Usento need there. Alright, we want to kick, we want to disgrace a kuro in case Mohbad. Baba Mohbad fe ko ni nkan kan se pẹ̀lú ọmọ òun or funeral ọmọ òun. Olosho ni ibi te ma get to ma fẹ́ lo mi ṣe contents le ma rí. Ọmọ ẹ ó ti pé 25 years old, ó ti ń ta expensive bags. Ìyẹn tó bá ti jẹ́ real bags gan. Ó ti ṣe àwọn nǹkan tó influence younger people tó ń lówó tó ń de ever lówó yẹn. You know, so far when you come me, o man gbe ko lo ma sun pẹ̀lú àwọn èèyàn. Ṣé bí hook up ni Priscilla ń ṣe. Hook up ni Priscilla ń ṣe, Yabo lajú ẹ̀ síta, kò sẹ́ni tó care about anything. Stop lying to all these young people. O wá pèrè ní godmother of what? Oh, lọ sí Ghana. Ghana tó rò pé mò ń gbé, tí mo lọ ṣe assignment 3 times. Lọ́wọ́ nǹkan tó ń pè ní godmother in Ghana. Nigerians running prostitution rings in Ghana. One woman, old lady, with 25 girls in an apartment. They won't even rent apartments for any Nigerians in Ghana. It's just hard because of that prostitution thing. And that's what they call their madam, godmother. You are now doing godmother on Instagram, Abi. Abi, you have some girls that you send out. Very stupid things. Because Anthony time, nobody has time, yeah, but, you know, tobacco in go to your children, that kind of stuff. Who is this? Samtopad. This is the reason I find dead cockroaches in my kitchen every morning. Because of the onions. No, it's really not because of the onions. The onions are supposed to be there. Okay. Let me just say this to you, Samtopad. If you have onions, right, we can't refrigerate. Well, you guys are you Nigeria? Okay, because abroad is different. They have something at the bottom of the fridge called crisper. Every fridge has it. But in Nigeria, the crisper doesn't work because they're going to take light for 6 hours, 12 hours, all that. So your fridge is not doing capacity. It's only doing half capacity. So Nigerians will leave onions out. If you leave onions out on the counter, like I like onions out, I don't like my onions refrigerated. If you leave your onions out on the counter, okay, it doesn't mean that roaches are coming. They're not smelling the onions. It's when you open the onions and grind it, the inside of the onions is what kills them, not outside. All right. If you keep onions in your kitchen, try and dry them. All right. Onions have no added or lost benefits if you dry them. Put them in a basket, throw them out on your balcony, let the sun hit it. You know, even in America, some of these apartments have balcony. Put it out on the balcony. If it's the sun, you know it's fake sun now because it's November. Fake sun, when I say fake sun, God forgive me, on fake sun, I mean like the sun is shining, but it's not really bringing out the heat. But still put it out there. So it's not that you're seeing cockroaches. Clean your kitchen. You take everything out of your kitchen closet, food, everything. Put it in one side of your kitchen or outside. Okay, and then you will wipe all your walls. Open all your closets. Okay, you see fleet. Don't fleet your closets. Fleet the rag you are using and use it to wipe the walls of your kitchen. That's what I did for rice bugs. Rice bugs will continue coming in. I just use fleet on the thing and wipe it. They don't come again. The rice bugs are inside the rice, so they come out when you feel like coming. Nothing is coming out anyway. We're eating bugs. All we're doing is eating bugs all day anyway. Beans have bugs too, everything. So what you want to do basically is you have to clean your kitchen. Not everybody's clean. I'm not saying you're dirty, but I'm just saying not everybody is clean. And then you might do something, you know, that kind of stuff. I didn't realize I started a podcast. I already have podcasts. I've been podcasting for 20 years. Kemi Talks on Spotify. They're giving me 25 seconds of time. I didn't know they do this. 20 seconds left for this live. I'll start a new live. I have a podcast. Go to Kemi Talks. It's everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Apple everywhere. I started all this stuff before all these rubbish people that sit down in front of a microphone. The live is going to end, but I'll start a new one. And Q&A kind of thing, you know, oh look, like that. And then the rumors started surfacing like the Davido or Peruzzi poisoned him, which is not the case because I saw everything.
tó ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ kú àtàárọ̀ ẹ kú òtòtò ní ẹ rí pé tó ọ̀hún dùn ó lárin ní onígbọ́gbọ́n nú ẹ ò bàbá ti ṣèlérí àwa la sọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹ a kì í ṣe àsọ̀rọ̀ dànù èyí tá a bá ti sọ fún yín dandan ni pé ká mú ṣẹ tó kò ní jù báyìí lọ o kì í pọ̀ kó dùn ṣókí báyìí òun náà lọ́bẹ̀ oge àmọ́ àwa làwa ò máa wá ẹ̀yin náà làwa ò máa bá ẹ má gbàgbé ẹ máa bá ń like ètò kẹ́ ẹ máa bá ń share o bákan náà ẹ máa bá ń subscribe ká lè jọ máa pọ̀ sí nítorí pé wọ́n ní ọmọ yọyọ ní nílé aládì tó títí wá dìgbà míì táwọn jọ máa fojú níjú lórí ìkànnì Wo TV àdìgbò lódòdó ra wọn ni mò ń jẹ́ ìjípò ní mi ọmọ àdìtú ọmọ adábàá ọmọlájẹkújẹ lọ́mọ àfọ̀gọ́ sàárà kú mẹ́jẹ kú mẹ́rin kú ìjẹun tó ń ti ní bàbá tèmi lọ́mú lẹ́gùn rí ọ̀tá ọmọ jẹ́jọ òun dágbére fún yín pé ká sùn kájí láyọ̀ ire o.
Disclaimer: the information provided by the speaker or presenter on the Wo TV platform during this broadcast is for general informational purposes only. All information in this broadcast is provided in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind, expressed or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of the information. The broadcaster of the channel may not and cannot be held accountable for the views, opinions, and comments made by callers during this broadcast. World TV is a contemporary Nigerian news and entertainment TV program born from the need to fuse the popular indigenous Yoruba culture into the growing entertainment industry of Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of World TV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program. Please note,